Priya is the founder of a cultural diaspora chai brand.
And I woke up the next morning and there was already kind of thousands of comments on this video about my journey. For the first event, kind of 6 girls turned up in the door, all South Asian, all like missing home. We'd created this community already, like in that moment without realizing. We spent £21,000 with a recipe development company to put it in a can.
Got you. Okay.
And sadly, it just didn't work out for us. But mostly it's me not making a lot of money, if I'm frankly honest. And we sold out within like an hour and a half of being there.
Why she'd rather have a room full of true fans than a feed full of followers. Today on Made in Public, I'm joined by someone who's done the whole thing back to front. And I mean that as the biggest possible compliment. Priya is the founder of a cultural diaspora chai brand, and almost everything she's built has come downstream of just putting herself and her culture out there. That's long before there was ever a business attached to it. It started with a supper club called Vegetarian Brown Girls that she set up with her mom, and it's grown into a brand she runs almost entirely herself. With an engaged offline and online community, they'll champion every single thing she launches. Recently, she sold out without a sales team, just her. What I find brilliant about Priya is how real she's willing to be about it. She's now running a series called Nothing Hidden, where she shows her actual finances, the good weeks and the bad ones in real time. No polish, no rose tint. This show is all about founders still in the thick of it, and Priya is doing exactly that. Today, we're going to get into how a community became a brand, why she'd rather have a room full of true fans than a feed full of followers. Priya, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm so looking forward to this conversation, and there's so much I want to get in that I am sure listeners of this show will get value from. You're very humble in how you've shown it with me. I know you won't be sitting here going, well, this is the playbook, because some of the stuff that you've done has kind of happened by accident, right? I said in our intro that you've kind of built this social presence and then formed a business, whereas a lot of founders, most founders, build a product and then they're like, right, now how do I do a social strategy that's going to kind of help me distribute this product? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. I think I didn't really plan to even have a chai product.
Yeah.
Actually, I started just on Instagram. I started documenting, journaling recipes.
Yeah.
And really quickly, people started to resonate with them. And from there, everything has kind of snowballed in community and sales and just growth of like making sure our culture stays alive, really.
Did Vegetarian Brown Girls come as a result of you doing recipes, or did you create Vegetarian Brown Girls and then recipes started coming out of that?
So Vegetarian Brown Girls was created
which is just an amazing name, by the way. It's just like,
So it is just me and my mom. That's how it started. She was just learning how to use Instagram at that time.
Yeah.
And I said to her, let me make a handle. Vegetarian Brown Girls is available. So that's what I used. And I said to her, let's just share recipes. You post them to me, I'll post them to you, and we'll kind of get them online.
Amazing.
And we can just have like a digital journal, I guess, of like all my mom's recipes. Because otherwise, Asian mums are kind of notorious for not really giving measurements for anything. It's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you never really know how to make it. So at the time I had a daughter, and I wanted to kind of just save these recipes for her so I can not give her beans on toast every night.
Yes.
So as part of that, I was one evening sitting down and I saw an ad come up to be a supper club host. And I was like, I think I could do this.
Yeah.
And at the time I was a stay-at-home mum. So I had no kind of plans to go back into work at all. I was going to like have the soft life.
Yeah.
Saw that and I thought, let me apply. My mum's a great cook. I was like, I'm sure I can market this. And I applied. I remember it was like the 20th of December, and 2 weeks later, just after Christmas, they said, you've got a slot, you need to fill your table. So for anybody...
So this is someone putting on they had a venue that they were saying, we do supper clubs or we move venues or whatever.
So they just
can apply to come and do it, basically, right?
So they just said they have a platform.
Right.
So all they do is market your events. You can host wherever you like.
Got you.
We didn't really know if we'd sell any tickets. So we said, let's just host at home. It's very natural to us to host at home. Yeah. Like I love hosting. My mom loves hosting. So we were just like, let's just go for it. Let's have strangers in our home. But I guess the catch is you have to sell tickets for that. And kind of without any marketing or doing it before, it was a bit scary. We kind of weren't sure anybody was going to turn up at our table. And within like a few days of posting that we were doing it, and kind of, I guess, via the help of the platform, we'd sold out all 6 seats.
Yeah, and so, probably in part because of the name. I'm sure that would have really caught people's attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we had an idea that actually maybe we would be introducing, it was like regional vegetarian Gujarati food, which is food of our culture. We thought we'd be introducing it to kind of a Western audience. We thought it'd kind of be people who are curious about food. And for the first event, kind of 6 girls turned up in the door, all South Asian, all like missing home or wanting to kind of eat Indian food. So that was a really nice feeling for us to be like, we'd created this community already, like in that moment without realizing.
Yeah. And MAJI Drinks was not even a thought.
Not even a thought back then.
Not even a thought back then. So, and we'll get into that in a bit. It's kind of like that was then the seed for what has given you like a platform to then create this cultural drinks brand. But you had no idea of that at the time.
Absolutely not. We were in the thick of doing supper clubs. We were hosting one every single weekend, both on a Saturday and a Sunday. Yeah. So at that point, it wasn't even on the horizon.
And did you think that was going to be the business?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like that. That's just what we do.
We thought we could get a residency somewhere, and that would be our life. Like, at no point did we think we'd have a product.
Amazing. Well, we're going to dig into that in a bit later, but yeah, for someone that doesn't know, I'm no chai expert. I've had like a chai latte here and there. I think I even had a chai latte with Baileys in it, which might be even more like I don't know if that's.
I feel like that's more
sacrilege.
Forgivable.
It was really good.
That's probably the Baileys though.
Yeah. So what is it?
So chai is a drink from South Asia. It's kind of a drink that is like the language of South Asia. It's like how people have a cuppa here. You can kind of have it 3-4 times a day. It's a caffeinated drink.
It is caffeinated, right?
It's caffeinated, yeah. You boil it on the stove, so equal parts water and milk. And then every family, every person has a different spice blend that they put in.
And where does the caffeine come from?
Tea.
So it's a tea?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I honestly have, that's my level of knowledge. But you have very kindly brought some in, haven't you?
Yes.
So we're going to try so we've got 2 Georges in the studio today, our engineers. Young George, who's work experience, and then our senior engineer, George, he's been to India and he really likes chai. So you've got 2 different people here that I've basically got no experience of chai.
No pressure.
George is basically a professional. So let's give it a
try.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
Yeah. These are just samples for today.
Okay.
So the journey actually started with wanting to put chai in a can.
Yeah.
It was a lot more complicated than I ever imagined.
Right.
And after like 200 samples, all I was getting was a chai tea latte flavor.
Yeah.
So basically it was just like spiced milk. So I kind of gave up on that.
Yeah.
But now I have like a powder format that you can make, and this is what you can create from it. So that's kind of how it is stemmed.
But you are making this where? At home?
At home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So when did you make this?
Last night. So the whole concept is it's an overnight chai.
Right.
So you make it the night before and then pop it in your fridge like a cold brew.
Yeah.
And it has time to kind of intensify and get thicker.
Okay. Let's give it a try.
Yeah,
let's give it a try. Let's bring Senior George in.
The pro.
Yeah, because I'm fascinated to try it. So which one?
The yellow is oat milk and the blue is whole dairy milk.
Do I need to shake it or anything?
Yes, give it a shake. There is
shake.
like sediment in the bottom because we use like real spice.
I hope I like it.
I hope so too.
Super awkward if I don't, isn't it? It's just, the episode will never see the light of day. Just like, oh, it smells amazing. Yeah, it's great. Oh, that's flipping delicious.
You could drink that one.
Oh, that's so good. It's like the texture of it, isn't it? It's got like, there's like nothing else you drink.
It isn't, yeah. And I think here we kind of, I guess, like smooth it down to like a very silky drink, like a coffee, but it's actually not like that at all because there's spice in it.
Oh my God.
Just by naturally it should be.
Is it, I mean, it's sweet. Is there a bit of sugar in it?
There's some sugar in it.
It's so delicious.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, George? You're the professional.
It's just like it was in India. And it's why I don't really drink it here because it's never as good.
Oh, there we go.
So,
I hope. I was like, damn it! Like, basically, what you said is it is exactly as it is in India.
I'd love for you to also try the dairy, if you can.
Dairy.
That's the oat, is it?
That's so good. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
It was really good there as well. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, that's a really nice start to the show. Really, that's been my most fun start.
No, that's good.
Yeah, so that's honestly,
how's that
I
then?
absolutely love it. So when you make this at home,
Yeah.
you're then through you are the business. So you're head of sales and distribution and packing and dispatch, I imagine.
Yeah.
What does someone get?
They get a packet. So it's a packet of chai. It's a single serve. So I try to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
And I just try to make it as quick as possible too, because I feel
Yeah.
like for our modern life, you don't
Yeah.
want something that's going to take ages. Like a traditional chai takes like 20, 30 minutes on the stove. You let it kind of really condense down.
Right.
But you do this, you flash heat it 5 minutes
Yeah.
and then pop it in the fridge. And we say like sleep is an ingredient.
Cool.
Let it do its work.
Yeah.
And you've got it in the morning.
So you're making the blend.
Yeah.
So you order the packet, that comes through. You make it overnight, or we make it overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And how's the business doing? It seems as though I'm fingers crossed for you, because you just seem like one of the most genuine founders I've met. Sounds like it's going well.
Yeah, it's really going well. So the last 3 weeks, we kind of launched and went live with a website. Kind of used Lovable as like a little plug because I actually really love it.
Yeah.
It's really easy to create a website. And actually, let me go back one step, because I, sitting in the bath one night, did a video. I was like, right,
What, in the
as
bath?
you do. Yeah, that's where I do all my content. So, so I made like a carousel video to put on TikTok. It was like 32 slides. It was just me ranting about my journey, because I'd realized it'd been a year since I launched the business officially. I was doing a rant and I was like, nobody's going to read this 32 slides. And I woke up the next morning and there was already kind of thousands of comments on this video about my journey. And like, it just started cranking up. And then people were saying, how can we order? And that's when I realized I didn't really have a website. Until that point, I was just doing direct messages. People had my phone number, they would call me and order. And then as that blew up, I realized I need a website. And then that was 3 weeks ago. And since then, I think we sold close to like 2,000 packets. People have just been ordering, reordering. We've been at pop-ups, people have been buying. So in this format, in the last 3 weeks, really propelled.
There's so many things running through my head, because Vertical Drop is a business which I own and run, which is a podcast agency to help founders find their voice and start to use their founder energy as a distribution channel. And it's just so encouraging hearing you sit there to say, well, actually, my socials are my engine.
Yeah.
And I suppose the value that you've managed to create is you've created like an offline community as well as an online community.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that, how that sort of, that's not benefiting you, because it makes that feel disingenuous, because you did it by accident. You weren't like, I'm creating an offline community so that I can extract money from these guys with my chai brand I don't know that exists.
Absolutely not. It started, the community piece, when I started the brand. Actually, I think it's when I started Vegetarian Brown Girls. I was working at home, kind of sick of myself by like every Thursday. So a few founders that I knew, I kind of messaged and I said, shall we go and co-work together? I think there was 6 of us to start with. And every Wednesday we'd meet up in the same coffee shop and we would just work together for 3 hours. Yeah. And then slowly each of those people kind of started adding another person. And then today that group is, I think, 160 people. Wow. And so that has just grown organically. And the crux of that group, because I think community is a bit of a buzzword that's thrown around. I think you get lots of people who host events and say it's community. There's a lot of that that's kind of self-serving. But I think in our group, we ask you to
when you say self-serving, do you feel like it's the community that they're building is really... it's a means to an end almost? It's like, okay, well, if we marketing said we need to build a community, so if we build a community we can sell, kind of thing. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it kind of does something for them. It kind of benefits them for a sale, for a to have somebody to kind of ask questions to when they kind of
an email list
services for them. And I think actually in our community we ask you to kind of be a villager, and that's at the kind of forefront of it. Like I think you need to bring as much value to the group as everybody else. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. You need to attend events. You need to, if you're not in London, because it's not just a London-centric group, you need to help share people's events and their posts and support them. And I'm not kind of too strict about it on there. I don't really moderate on there. And everybody has just kind of really pulled their weight. And I keep hearing people tell me like, this is an amazing community that you've built. And I feel like I can't really take much credit for it because I feel like it's just happened accidentally.
I think that's like, it's such a beautiful story of like just leaning into something and being like, this is what I'm interested in. It kind of, there's always that narrative, isn't there, about if you're passionate about something, you'll be able to find some other people that are, and that's kind of led you to being able to create this business. Yeah. The other thing that you mentioned there about you doing content from your bath, which is great, but you've really lent into building in public, which is what this show is all about. But you have recently started taking that to the next level. So nothing hidden, right? That's the series. Tell us what that means and what you're doing there.
So I think online, especially with businesses, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think people kind of post the final thing and they will show you the numbers and the building in public that they want to show. It's like a marketing piece. Yeah. So nothing hidden is kind of my way of showing everything. Yeah. So
not the highlight reel.
Not the highlight reel. Sometimes the highlight reel.
Yeah.
But mostly it's me not making a lot of money. If I'm frankly honest.
But whilst contemplating life in the bath.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So mostly it's me talking. I do it kind of event by event. And I kind of talk in real terms what it costs to be at an event, what the stock costs me, what I sell. And then now I kind of talk about why online sales kind of weaved into that. And I'm really honest.
Not feel scary?
No, I think...
a lot of people would just be terrified about showing someone how much they make.
Yeah, I guess for some people. Yeah. For me, I think I want to be really helpful to somebody who might be watching, thinking... why am I not succeeding like the other brand that I'm seeing out there? Why can't I start this? And I think that's like a real barrier for people who want to start businesses because they see this kind of success and they don't see everything that comes before that.
This episode is sponsored by Vertical Drop, our end-to-end podcast agency based out of our studio in Clerkenwell, London. Founders, a podcast is the single best tool to grow your personal brand and business right now, not just through content, but through access. We recruit your guests, those people who won't take your call. They'll sit down with you for a well-positioned show. We get you in the room with the people you actually want to do business with. Strategy, production, editing, long-form, social content, all handled. DM me on LinkedIn for a free pilot, no strings. Do you think it makes it easier for you to do that content, having almost like a person in your mind, or maybe you're thinking of your community, some of those people going, well, if I'm talking to them, then I can just say like, oh, this would be really helpful for you, rather than it being like, maybe look at me or...
Yeah, absolutely. Everything I put out is either for the community or I treat it like a journal for myself. So if I'm kind of putting out like a motivational kind of video, it's something that I would want to save and watch back myself. Yeah. So I treat it kind of like a journal.
Yeah. So do you think you'll keep doing that for forever? Not just the financials, but...
the financials, yes, absolutely.
You're going to keep doing that?
As I keep growing, because I would like to start fundraising again soon.
Okay.
So yeah, I would love to talk about...
You don't need to do an investor deck if you just go, well, just go and have a look at my socials, it's all there.
Yeah, I was actually going to post a video this evening about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, that basically said... You know, I'm quite jokey online.
Yeah.
I kind of call out kind of culture vulturing a lot. Yeah. Just trying to reclaim our heritage. And I know a lot of people probably on the outside look at it thinking, I don't know if she's right to run this business because I kind of do build in public and I do show the loss. So that's not great for an investor to see. But the truth is, like, I come from like a really successful event planning background. I used to like plan weddings like in the 5-10 million. So
wow,
I definitely have like the experience to build this business. It's just like a different part of, because FMCG is just so new to me.
When we did our briefing call, I was talking about the fact that we're building in public and you are, and I told you about an absolute car crash that happened here last Friday. Like there's basically two cardinal sins in the podcast production game. One is not pressing record. And that happened once before I was here. So I'd like to say that wasn't me. But last week, it was the heat wave last week. Yeah. And basically every episode that we had booked in the studio cancelled because people were like not traveling into London, understandably. Apart from one on Friday afternoon. And inevitably a lot of the shows that we host are big profile guests. People have travelled from outside of London, and I got a phone call at 12 p.m. on Friday, and they're just like, we're at the studio and there's no one there. I was just like, oh God, okay, let me see what's happened.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that it had got lost in translation because all these other episodes had got cancelled. But there was no engineer here. Neither me or Andy, co-founder, could get here. And I just had to phone them back. But what you said, which I wish I'd had the foresight to do, was to record that call where I just had to be like, I am so sorry. Just fall on my sword. There's nothing I can do to fix it today. Yeah. Please go and have breakfast on me, and we'll figure a way to make this good. Yeah. But I wish I'd had the foresight to go record. So I just went like, oh, just got to eat shit here really badly. But yeah, are you sharing your gaffes, your mistakes? And
yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of a beauty that I don't have a social strategy.
Yeah.
Because I do post in real time. So a bit like that moment, I don't actually think it's foresight. I think it's just doing it constantly. Yeah. I kind of know that's the kind of stuff that people want to see. They want to relate to you and kind of go, oh, I've done that before. That is a big cock up. But yeah, like it happens to everybody. They want to see how you deal with it, I think, actually. Like, were you a nice person about it? Were you not?
Yeah, I think you're just so drawn, aren't you, when... Like if you think of the way some posts are read, it's like if someone says like my PR team's going to hate this, you're like, what's happened?
Exactly. It's curiosity. Isn't it?
Or I've just dropped the ball. Yeah. Can't believe I've just fucked this up. Basically, cool. So yeah, I guess I'm certainly interested. Hopefully, someone else listening is interested in how it went from you doing vegetarian brown girls to chai.
So Vegetarian Brown Girls was on like a real high.
Yeah.
We had been featured in like Vogue. We'd had The Mirror. Like we'd had some huge kind of press, all organically. People had come and sat at our table.
Yeah.
And they'd written about us. And then we started getting those lovely residencies or like one-offs. So we worked at the Hoxton Hotel and did a takeover. And we worked at Mildred's and did like their first ever takeover. So we had this lovely, lovely success. But it was getting really tiring.
Was it?
Yeah. Like really, I think I wish I'd really built that in public because I would have loved to have shown truly just how much it takes to have a food business that you are kind of organizing, prepping, menu testing. It's just like constant. You're then cooking the food, serving the food, everything that comes along with it. There's a lot. Yeah. And my mum is actually retired. So she was kind of like, is it time to call it a day? Yeah. So like, maybe. And then somebody came to a supper club and they said to us, will you do a festival? We've got a South Asian festival happening. Will you come along? And we didn't want to do kind of our traditional food there. And my husband said to me, we eat, it's called chaat. It's like an Indian street food. It's normally just kind of served in like over a samosa or, something like that. And we kind of made our own take on it, which is over crisps. So what we were doing, so we kind of said yes to this event. Yeah. We've never done like a 5,000 person event before. We said, yes, we can do it boldly. I don't know now whether that was a bad idea, but it was, inside bags of crisps. So we're opening them up on the side, filling them in and serving them to people. And it went really viral. People absolutely loved it. Like on that day, it was like one of the most rainiest days in England in the summer. And we still sold like 1,000 packets or something. It was like a huge success day for us. Yeah. We started then doing that actually for, I think maybe a year. We had some amazing customers who booked us. We were at the British Museum for a pop-up. And I kind of had an online series with that too called Crisps But Better. Yeah. And I would just review different crisps with the same ingredients. It was like not rocket science at all, but people loved it. Yeah. Like they went crazy for it. And I really started growing, like the community started growing much more kind of then. And most of the time I was kind of filming like 5 or 6 episodes in a day. It's really tired. Wow. My husband would say, let's go and get a coffee. So we'd walk down the shop to our local. And I would always get a chai tea latte. And it's because I don't really like matcha. I don't really love coffee. So that was like the next thing on the menu. So I'd just get it. I'd pay a £5. I'd be annoyed. I'd moan about it all the way home. And like there was a moment where I said to him, I can just do this better. And I said, why doesn't it exist in a can? And he was like, yeah, why doesn't it? He was like, I would drink it. You would drink it. I'm sure other people would drink it. And so that's kind of where it was born.
Yeah. And you imagined it was going to be in a can.
Yeah, I did imagine.
So you were
going to
make it would be in refrigerators somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be how it would
and
be.
maybe even like coffee shops would serve it over ice rather than the kind of format they're doing now.
Yeah.
It would be an actual chai they serve over ice or heat up.
How long did it take you to realise that that wasn't the route and what you wanted to do was give it to people in a way that they could make it at home?
So it's a bit of a journey with that. So we decided, we did a tasting at home actually. When we first started, I had this community I could lean on.
Yep. So you brought them in.
Yeah, there's 100 people over a weekend.
Wow. At your house?
I didn't at my house. So when I say community and I know
you
them.
say some things, Priya, that are just like, yes, it's just 100 people come to our house. You're like, sorry, 100 people came to your house, 100 strangers came to your house to try.
Yeah,
to try chai. That's quite hard to say.
Yeah, basically. And at that point, we were in like a 2-bed flat in like, it was like tiny, but everybody loved it. They,
I bet.
Brought their kids. Some people brought their parents. It was like this really wholesome day. And we had some amazing feedback. So we didn't really know like recipe development at that point. We were like, let's make a taste that tastes good cold. Yeah. So me and my husband and my mum were testing. We landed on these 3, like an oat, a dairy, and a dirty, which is like a coffee chai.
Yeah.
And we just got people to try them. And we got their feedback. And then me and my husband said there's really something in this. Every single person there was they were excited by what we were doing. They why doesn't it exist already? And we decided to kind of put our life savings into putting it into a can.
Right.
So I talk about it really frankly, but we spent £21,000 with a recipe development company to put it in a can.
Got you. Okay.
And sadly, it just didn't work out for us.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's kind of me being a bit of a stickler. And lots of people on this journey have told me that I should just get the can out there regardless. Doesn't matter if it doesn't fully taste like chai or what I think chai is. But I've got a bit of a problem with that because I think like as a long-term or a legacy business, which is what I'd love to be, like a household name, I think a customer is going to buy that once and then they're just not going to come back. So I think
it was all right kind of thing.
Yeah. And so I think it was like 6 months in, we kind of knew it wasn't working. Me and my husband were like, we made a real big mistake here. Like, what do we do? And a friend messaged me and she said, I've got this event happening. It's like a market place and you can come, but you can't bring your liquid drink. Is there any other way we can do this? And I just kind of got to thinking, I was like, I know a powder can work, but can I make a powder work in the chilled format? So literally I just became like some sort of pharmacy on overnight to try and put together, basically. And I came up with a recipe and it worked. Yeah. We took, I think it was like 60 or 70 packets, not thinking that they would do very well actually. And we sold out within like an hour and a half of being there. So it's accidental that these packets.
I think it's such a nice story as well for founders. I know a lot of people you get almost like glorified like with failure, but the path to it has been so unlinear. Yeah, it's been like I'm trying this thing, then mom wants to retire. That's like that. Well, that you know, mom. We're really onto something here. and then I'll put all my money into a can because that's the thing. Doesn't work, and then someone's like, "Can you do this?" And you're like, "Yeah, probably." And then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh,
yeah."
And
that's
here
where
it is.
We've landed. Yeah.
So. Why MAJI? Have I pronounced it right?
Yeah, MAJI.
MAJI.
Yeah.
Yes.
So MAJI just means like a respected older woman in lots of South Asian languages.
Just like, pass me this picture. I'm going to show that to the camera. So a respected old woman who looks like this. So what does MAJI mean?
Yeah, so it basically is, it's the aunties would not approve this brand. Yeah. That's why we kind of go with this kind of campaigning and messaging.
Yeah. You seem to have this like real... What I'm getting through this episode is you've got like the natural like community building, marketing, positioning, fun, engagement bit, like so I don't know, it just seems to come really naturally to you. Like a bit of fun. It's like it could be called anything, but it's not. It's
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, there's a bit of a story with that. When we started with the strangers in the house, it was called Masi, because it's similar kind of thing. It means auntie in in South Asian languages. And we kind of looked on the trademark kind of website and we're like, oh, well, a 4,000-year-old Italian wine company owns that. So maybe that's not the right name. So it was just kind of a natural progression of kind of landing on that. But I'm kind of quite conscious that I don't want it to be a brand that kind of follows like the tropes of South Asian culture. So I didn't want to like plaster a marigold on there and say, here's chai.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted it to feel like something I would want to pick up.
Yeah. I think probably as well, I can imagine that relating to when you said about these 6 women that turned up at your house that were missing those home creature comforts or the food and the culture. I'd imagine that with them in mind, you're probably thinking they'd probably find that fun and playful, and I suppose with brand, that's what you're looking for, someone can resonate with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they would. And also my mum thought it was funny. So then I was like, well, hang on. She's older and she thinks it's funny. Yeah. We've got the young generation who are kind of leaning into it, loving it. Yeah. So
are you finding that of the sales that you have done, I imagine there's a larger proportion of that community that are your customers, but is there a cross demographic of all sorts of characters drinking your chai?
Yeah, absolutely. I think South Asian diaspora, like second gen kids, they kind of understand chai. Yeah. So there's no kind of explaining there. The only kind of explanation is that it's an overnight and it's a quick thing. I think people are new to chai. They're kind of more, either they love chai already or they want to learn about chai. And I think just doing it this way has kind of engaged them to want to learn what it is. I feel like chai actually came around, I want to say like only like 15, 20 years ago, like into coffee shops. And I think it wasn't afforded the same thing as like matcha is right now. I think they just did what was quick and called it chai. And that was fine at its time, I think.
I guess I know what you mean. So matcha's become this whole thing where you can go and get good matcha and they're like, they're really making it from scratch. But I guess you're saying sort of in a Starbucks or wherever where they serve matcha, serve chai, it's just a...
Exactly. It's just a powder and a water and that's kind of it. It doesn't really taste like chai. And I think times have changed. And I think generationally, the younger generation kind of want to honour what the culture is. They want to learn how to make matcha. And I'm hoping now it kind of is the time for chai.
I hope it is. That brings us nicely on to that. What's next? What's happening? And it sounds as though momentum is building. Yeah. Big plans. You're showcasing it to the world and revealing all warts and all. So, yeah, what's happening? What's happening next?
So next is, I touched on earlier, we are looking for some investment. Anybody watching? But we would love to really grow this and fast. I think there is a bit of a game where you do have to grow quickly to kind of gain market kind of traction on it. Yeah. And I would also like to simultaneously bring the can back, but with a different agency. And
see if it works again.
See if we can get it to work again.
Do that with someone else's money, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would be better. Yeah. But give it a go. And not to jinx anything because we haven't signed any contracts yet, but we might have a pop-up in August in central London for 2 weeks.
Amazing.
Selling chai. So that's all to come.
Yeah. And how does someone get their hands on it?
Just go to the website. It's majidrinks.co.uk.
Yeah.
And I kind of operate like Amazon. You order today and you'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah. Operate like Amazon, except without the warehouse and stuff.
Oh, not that. I mean, just the delivery model only.
Just like,
and I'm the person who doesn't get paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, say a lot like Amazon in it comes, but I'm actually just nothing like Amazon at all. Oh my God, Priya, I've so enjoyed our conversation. It's probably been my most fun episode, and I'm so pleased to have had you on. I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm really confident it's going to be a success just because of like the journey you've had to like get here. And I just think it's the proof's in the pudding that kind of whatever you've done, something's happened, and it feels like it's kind of led you to this place. And hope someone does come along and give you a bucket load of money to push it forward. And please do try it. I'm not just saying that because I'm sat here with you. It's absolutely delicious. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was so good, Priya. I've really enjoyed that.
Thank you.